Hey everybody, it's Brian Woodworth. I wanted to do this video for you because I wanted to talk to you about swimming upstream. I'm sure you've been in a place where things just don't go your way and there's this extraordinary amount of resistance and you feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed, and you're frustrated because things just aren't going the way you want them to go or the way you think they should go. Well, I actually had one of those weeks this week, at least at the beginning of the week, where it seemed like nothing I did was going the way it should have went, and certainly not the way I wanted it to go. And for me, sometimes it gets even more frustrating because I know the answer. I already know who and what I am. The challenge is when I'm not being my true nature and who and what I am. And then what happens is it creates the suffering, the stress, the overwhelm, the frustration. And so for me, it was showing up pretty intense this week, and I couldn't understand what was going on because my conditioning was just to continue to force and push through, and it just wasn't going like it was supposed to go. And so I finally stopped, and I got into a place of quietness, and I went into meditation or self-inquiry, and I just was still. And what came up and what showed up and what I was made aware of through that self-inquiry and meditation was extraordinary, because what I became aware of was that I was forcing my human experience onto the already existing free-flowing spiritual experience that I am at my true nature. But because of conditioning, I kept trying to force my way through this and not allow the flow to happen. Now, some of you might be asking, what is this flow that everybody talks about? And I'll do another video about that, but to give you a quick overview, that flow that people talk about, and the flow is that natural spiritual experience that we already are at our true nature. And when life is going well, and the flow is present, it's because we are being our true nature, which is that natural, free-flowing spiritual experience. So the next time you find yourself feeling stuck or overwhelmed, or there's a lot of frustration, or there's a lot of resistant energy showing up, stop what you're doing, get into a still place, and ask yourself, am I forcing my human experience, or am I allowing the free-flowing, natural, spiritual experience that I already am at my true nature? Because anytime there is suffering, it means we are forcing our human experience on top of or overlaying the already existing free-flowing spiritual experience that we are at our true nature. So I tell you this because if it does show up, the only reason there is ever suffering is because we are allowing the human experience to overlay and force our way against the natural spiritual experience that we are. And that's why we get that swimming upstream resistance. So, if you want all the love, joy, happiness, peace, and abundance, the only way that happens is when we allow the natural, free-flowing spiritual experience of our true nature just to be. So with that being said, go out there, create all the love, joy, happiness, peace, and abundance that you desire and deserve. Stay well.